this is Beer News, March 2011, bringing you all the news that's fit to drink.
We got some big stories for you from March. One, we want to open up with the first one.
A lot of legal battles.
Yeah. It's been big for all kinds of legal stuff, but the biggest news, I think, is that Anheuser-Busch is buying Goose Island Brewery out of Chicago. That's huge.
So what will happen to Goose Island? We all want to know.
Hopefully, it'll remain the same, but with Anheuser-Busch at the helm, we're not sure. They did acquire Brett Porter, who is the head brewer from Deschutes, who does some really, really good stuff. So
yeah, he's been with Deschutes for the last 5 years, and has won numerous awards for the company. So it's kind of a give and take. You're like, all the beer geeks are going, man, Anheuser-Busch, no. But, it could go both ways. It could be a good thing because Anheuser-Busch is such a big company. They could kind of take the role for the little guys as becoming like the beer bank and kind of helping these smaller companies acquire more funds to grow their businesses, or,
it's possible. If
bigger locations
the key is,
bigger brew houses or whatever. Right?
Yeah, the key to that is, why is Anheuser-Busch doing it? If they're just doing it to make money, then that will be negative to the beer. If they're doing it because they really do see the value of craft beer, then what you're saying, I think, is really possible.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, one thing is this: because Anheuser-Busch they're so big, and they're producing all the light lagers, right? So, but what's happening to Anheuser-Busch, and we've all been talking about it, all of us, all beer geeks are talking about it in the craft beer community, is the fact that craft beer industry continues to grow. This year in 2010 grew 11%.
Exactly.
Whereas the macros fell 2%. So as they're slowly fading away, the little guys are slowly but surely taking over. Which is really what's happening with this country altogether. Small business is actually taking over big business. There's more small businesses growing than big business are growing.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's happening with you look all over. The big phone companies bought up all the little internet service providers so that they could continue that trend as it was going. So now the big beer companies buying the smaller ones so they control that craft beer. Now, the question with that is, again, like I was saying, is it just founded by greed, or is it done for actually seeing that there's a good quality product and believing in the product and wanting to stand behind the product? That latter is not something that the macro breweries are known for. So unless there's something different going on,
I can think of the two off the top of my head would be Red Hook and Widmer. Anheuser-Busch took a big chunk of Red Hook back in the day, and Red Hook's beers have just kind of maintained almost exactly the same, if not lowered in quality than what they were before. Widmer, the same thing. They're producing, they're producing other brands of beer, other styles of beer, but is their beer super exceptional? When you look at a company like New Belgium, for instance, or Sierra Nevada, for instance, where they're still independently owned companies, and their beer almost seems to be that it's getting better. Better and better. Every year they come out with different styles, and their beer just continues to be phenomenal.
So I guess only time will tell what's going to happen with Goose Island. We'll continue to drink their beers and taste them and make sure that the quality is good
for taste test.
Exactly. But it's great stuff.
Part of our job.
At least so far. Hopefully it won't deteriorate in quality, but we'll be following that story for you. We got a few other things to talk about as well. So we're enjoying Breckles Brown from Anchor Brewing. This was done to commemorate their
140th.
140th.
Yeah. 140th anniversary in the brewing industry.
There we go. So it's a really, really good brown ale. It's got a lot of nuttiness and
it's like a really traditional English style brown.
It's good stuff.
It's not like the sweet Newcastle beer at all.
No, it's really good
real
stuff.
Deal. Yeah. Cheers.
Definitely. Get out and try some of that.
So we got some fun stories.
Yep.
We've got the top 10
Drinking
biggest
cities.
Yeah, top 10 biggest drinking cities, and this is done by a study due to the amount of drinks sold.
Right.
So
it's compiled by Playboy.
Yeah.
So I heard another study about the drunkest cities, but we're not talking.
So
about
this would be by
this is by actual
drinks
number of drinks sold.
Yeah, not
so
by
number
how
one,
many DUIs.
right? Exactly. So number one, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Number 2 was Fargo, North Dakota,
Where it's cold. All these cold places.
There's nothing to do but drink.
There you go. I know someone who lives in Wisconsin. That's exactly what they say. 3, San Francisco, California. So, yeah, great beer town. 4, Austin, Texas. Now we're getting out of the cold.
Yeah, I think those two are kind of where it's cool and hip, a little more hipper
But it's not
cities,
cold.
right? No, it's not cold,
It's
but
cold.
it's hip. There's music
you.
and bars and all of that.
Totally.
There's just more of
Yeah.
a reason to drink.
Exactly. Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, Reno, Nevada. There's gambling. You got to drink.
You
When
got to
there's
do that.
gambling,
Totally.
right? Number 6 is Burlington, Vermont. It's cold there too.
Yeah, it's not much.
Back to cold.
Haven't heard of Burlington, Vermont very much. The Coat Factory. I think that comes from
Yeah,
there.
there you go. Number 7 was Omaha, Nebraska.
Yep.
I don't know, tipping cows, getting
Yeah,
drunk
I don't
and
know.
tipping cows,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
So.
Number 8 is Boston, Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Another hip town. It's cold. There's bars. There's lots of stuff to do there.
Exactly.
So more reason to drink.
Yeah. I was drinking with a buddy from Boston last night, and he said he's got some great beers out there, so they can definitely see that going on. Number 9, Anchorage, Alaska. Again,
Nothing to
really,
do.
really cold.
There's a lot of prostitution in Anchorage, Alaska.
Is there really? I wouldn't know about that.
I wouldn't know about that either. I've just heard. Number 10.
Big one, a beloved beer city to us down here, San Diego.
San Diego.
You know, San Diego's got
Surf's up, bro. Seriously. Grab some waves and.
But there's some
cool
great
beers.
beers coming
Yeah,
out of San Diego.
there's.
I'm surprised they're not higher on the
over
list.
40 brewing companies now in San Diego.
And some of the best ones, you got Stone, Green Flash is down there, Coronado,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Ballast Point, Pizza Port, I mean, just tons and tons of breweries down there. And they're only number 10. Come on, guys. You guys got all
Drink
the beer
up,
around
San
there.
Diego. Let's go.
Stay classy. So, and to go along with that, going back to Boston for a minute, Sam Adams did their annual homebrew competition, their long shot competition. And so they're releasing their 6-pack. It should be hitting in stores soon.
So let's go through the names of the winners. There was Rodney Kibsey.
Yep.
He made a blackened hops.
Probably a black IPA equivalent,
Richard Roper made Friar Hop Ale. And
Clerk.
Caitlin DeClerc
The Clerks
brewed
Honeybee Lavender
Honeybee's
Wheat.
Lavender Wheat.
It's a wheat. Lavender wheat. Okay.
It's a
So,
chick beer, man.
Yeah, definitely. But
it won.
yeah, and so that's pretty impressive.
And now
So-
we'll all be able to drink their beers.
Exactly. So we're going to probably try to get a 6-pack of this and bring you those home brewed beers. So it'll be really good to see. I'm really glad that Sam Adams does this competition and showcases the home brewers. I think that's really cool. Something to aspire to. So we'll try to bring you that one coming up as well.
So in collaboration news, Sierra Nevada is teaming up with Russian River Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And they are going to brew a Belgian-style pale ale, finished off with Brettanomyces.
Wow.
Sounds sick.
Yeah.
That should be released sometime in 2012. So
Yeah.
you heard it first on American Beer TV.
Serious. And with the way Russian River does their sours and their Brettanomyces, they really know that stuff. So it should be really interesting.
Great thing about something like this is that it allows states and beer communities to actually try Russian River that wouldn't normally be able to try Russian River.
Exactly.
Because it'll be distributed through Sierra Nevada.
Yeah. So good news there. And finally, another big story for March 2011 is the Battle of Bells.
Yes.
Two Hearted Ale, who we reviewed here a little bit ago, has a 100% rating on Rate Beer. There is a homebrew clone kit from Northwest Brewing in Milwaukee.
Northern Brewer.
Northern Brewer, excuse me. In in Wisconsin.
Minnesota.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, and Bell's sent them a cease and desist order on their
Three-Hearted.
Their Three-Hearted. The homebrew clone recipe was called Three-Hearted.
And I think it was like one of their big sellers.
Yeah,
too. It was like a big deal. Everyone wanted to.
Yeah, because it's
that
a great,
kit.
great beer.
Yeah.
So, Bell sent them a legal cease and desist order to stop to pull it, but when I first heard about this story, I was sure that because of the nature of the beer, they wanted to pull it off to protect the recipe. Not so. Apparently, they had to go through quite a bit to get the name.
Yeah, Bell's. Larry Bell came back and he wrote a letter back to the beer community and also to Northern Brewer, stating that he's also gone through a lot of trademark issues and legal issues with trademarking some of his own brands, and that it wasn't to kind of beat up the little guy. It was more to protect his assets and his trademarks, because his philosophy was if a trademark wasn't protected, that it was basically worthless. So, but the bloggers, when they heard about this, I mean, I heard about this a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was just freaking out. They're like, "Screw Bells, we hate you, we're going to boycott you, we don't want to drink your beer anymore, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah, but it's not about the recipe.
Right.
So, because of that, it's still back on sale at Northern Brewer under the name Dead Ringer. So, skirts the trademark issue, still has it out there. It came to an amicable conclusion. So there you go. Homebrewers still have their Two-Hearted Ale clone. Just it's now known as Dead Ringer.
And we can still continue to drink Bells on the
Exactly.
show and not get shit for it.
Right. So very cool. So that is the beer news for March 2011. And once again,
all the
news
that's fit to drink.
Cheers.